Hey guys, we're finally back for American Horror Story double feature. Now today is also going to be the premiere of American Horror Story double feature. We also know that it's going to be a 2-hour premiere. It's going to consist of 2 episodes for the first premiere of American Horror Story. I can't believe we are in our 10th season of American Horror Story. This show has been running for since 2010 all the way up to now. So that's a consistently of the only time that we didn't have it was due to the pandemic last year, but I'm just so happy that we're able to just have American Horror Story this year. But yeah, so we're gonna go down to the breakdown of the video of the American Horror Story double feature, and then we're gonna break down the video and talk about what we see and what predictions that you might think the premiere might bring us. Alright, so we definitely know that the previous trailer of American Horror Story double feature mentioned violins as well as aliens and somewhat of vampires. So check out the trailer and we're gonna break it out after.
Can't believe we're doing this. I never thought I'd get you out of the city.
I think this is going to be a place to work without distraction.
I've been coming out here to write for a few years now. This place inspires us.
I could really use some of the inspiration you guys have on tap. I'm facing some serious writer's block.
That won't last long. Trust me.
Something weird is going on here, and I want to know what it is.
There's nothing more addictive than success. You've tasted enough. You're never going to be able to live without it. It's not safe here.
Painting beautiful things.
I'm trying to keep this family together under very difficult circumstances.
So we just got done watching the American Horror Story trailer, and let me tell you, we just got an introduction to Sarah Paulson's character called as T.B. Karen. We have Evan Peters named Austin Summers. We had the returning of Fenn Ridrock as Henry Gardner. We have Lily Rabe as Doris Gardner. We have Frances Conroy as Belle Noire. We have Leslie Grossman as Ursula. We have Billy Lord as Lark, and we have Dina Porter as Chief Bozeman. We have also Macaulay Culkin, which I haven't forget the name that he has, but those are all the returning characters in American Horror Story right now. We also gonna make a short breakdown. So if we see the start of the American Horror, we knew that Ryan Murphy said that it was gonna be weather dependent. So we even see the atmosphere of American Horror Story has changed throughout the years. But I think out of all the sceneries that they have, I think my favorite ones would be of course Coven. We have I think Apocalypse had a beautiful atmosphere as well. But looking at the background of this one, we definitely see that they're going for the aesthetics as the dark theme look of the season 10. Now we also got a look of T.B. Karen as well as Fenn Ridrock's character, as well as the other characters. We know that the plot starts like this. Fenn Ridrock's character is basically a struggling writer, and he just moves with his family to the province town. And we saw that in the previous trailer, when I broke it down, we saw that the aliens were playing like a meat violin, which from what I'm seeing, music will be something very heavily in the show. And we also saw that from the very original poster we got from American Horror Story, we finally got the look of the sharp fangs and who is creating more people with the sharp fangs. We have Billy Lore as the Lurk, which is, I think, the person that's creating the person with the sharp fangs. And we also saw that we see the previous tenants that in the town started showing up and start telling him that, you know, there's a way we could cure your writer's block. All you gotta do is take this, which was also hinted that the previous trailer also hinted a lot of pills, which will be transforming the characters as you see them now. Like previously, if we go back to like Asylum, or as well as some of the previous promos of American Horror Story, we saw that one of the doctors that was in American Horror Stories loved to experiment on people. So it might even have a tie-in to Asylum, as well as previous things from Freak Show, which I'm thinking we're getting a mixture of two different worlds, as well as the upcoming season itself. We even have the what's making the people transform. We're getting that one of the characters, which is Belle Noire, played by Frances Conroy, said that, you know, once you get a taste of success, you basically lust after success, indicating that whatever pill that they gave you, you're gonna just keep wanting more and more from it. So we definitely saw that Evans Peters' character Austin is also tag along with Frances Conroy. And also Frances Conroy character reminds me of the Countess from season 5. So I don't know if they might hint something where the original people that turned Lady Gaga into the vampire were part of those you know, people from the province, because we never knew where they came from, because they've been living for a long time back in season 5. And then to make matters worse, we also saw the look of Ursula, played by Leslie Grossman. She's explaining that something has been going on in the town in this very dark atmosphere, and automatically we saw the look of Macaulay Culkin's character, which I'm gonna look to see the name so I could be in better terms of everyone's name as the season premieres today. We definitely see the dark theme of the season. Like I said, a previous video cover that I remember, promo for season 6, was showing that a shadow lurking behind this young woman as she goes up the stairs, and as she starts climbing even further, the shadow just pulls her ponytail right underneath the shadow. It has a Sparathu vampire theme going on as well, which if you saw while Fenn Ridrock's character Austin is playing the you know, typing, you saw that his tongue becomes like a snake type thing, and it's like slithering. So I'm thinking they're not fully vampires, but I'm trying to see what type of mythological character that they might be. We also think that I have a feeling that either Wendigo could be something that American Horror Story could bring to the table, because T.B. Karen looks like an original monster that they created, but she covers herself as a hobo and showing that she's poor, she's homeless. But I don't think that's, you know, that's the full case. Another thing is, I remember before, previously, I said that maybe something about the cooperative and how the previous season 8, before 1984, mentioned that we didn't fully know who was in the cooperative. You know, these people, for all we know, could be part of the cooperative and just to mess up the world even more. Because, well, if we knew that Michael Langdon had a bunch of people that sold their soul to his father, and that we never got a full look of the cooperative because everybody was wearing like this dark mask while they were sitting on the table. So that could be another connection theory that I have. But definitely, I think I'm very hyped for this season, you know, and the way this is seeming like a crossover season because of double feature. Now, the first episode for American Horror Story double feature, I know it's called Red Tide. So we definitely gonna start seeing, like I said, I feel as if the pills from the previous trailer is gonna be very prominent in the actual you know, episode. And I feel as if because it's gonna be a longer time streaming for American Horror Story this time, we might get more of the characters flushed out than better than ever. Like I said, my interest character right now is Belle Noire, and the Fenn Ridrock's and Lily Rabe's character as well, which the baby that she's giving birth to, if the baby's gonna be affected. And another thing we haven't figured out is the baby's gonna be before he turns to the vampire or whatever creature it is, or is it after, you know, she got pregnant. So that's something timeline that we should watch as well. You know, sometimes the trailers sometimes mislead you, but I feel as if as we started going further into American Horror Story, sometimes most of their trailers could sometimes predict what's gonna be exactly in the show. Now we know that the aliens might come after, which is because they say the thing is gonna be a two-part season, which one side is gonna be by the sea, the other one's gonna be by the sand. So the one that's by the sea right now, that's the one that we're definitely getting more into. We also saw I forgot his name, but he played Liz Taylor, and one of his characters seems like also a detective also. You know, he saw this body in the ground, and this thing looked like the Montauk monster that was washed up a couple of years ago, and I think it was in New York or so. So this is a lot of things. Like, I think science is gonna be a big prominent thing going into the season. So now I just remember his name. Dennis O'Hare played as Liz Taylor, but he came back for this season as, you know, either a detective or just a regular person that managed to see something that's washed up on the, you know, beach. Another person I'm interested in is, you know, Evan Peters' character, Austin Summers. Like, what is his role with Belle Noire's Francis Conroy's character? You know, how come they're so related? Because we know that how she was explaining that every one of them have been taking the pills just to make, you know, you successful, but in return, whatever pill that they're giving Fenn Ridrock are probably not the full prototype of the actual thing. So I'm thinking there's gonna be like more deal or initiations that needs to be made in order for him to like actually transform into how we see the cover, the very first cover we got for American Horror Story, which was the sharp teeth and that looks like a siren or whatever creature it was. And I think as the part 2 comes in for the aliens, maybe the aliens and the government has a deal to create those pills in order to transform people's bodies into the actual creatures that we see. You know, I just am very excited, guys. You know, it's been a long time coming. I miss American Horror Story. Now that it's finally back, I just can't wait. And I also did another video which is gonna be talking about music, which is up next. But like I say, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll definitely see you guys for more American Horror Story. Bye bye.